wanted to get it up. Everyone, welcome to Joyful Miles. Our channel is about inspiring others to enjoy life 1 mile at a time. My name is Jackie, and I'd like to introduce the others. This is Robert.
Hello.
Megan.
Hello.
And Laura.
Hello.
Today we want to talk about our experience at Disneyland. All 4 of us are veterans of Walt Disney World, and this was our first trip together to Disneyland, and we want to share our experience. We've discussed all the different races in the expo, but now we want to talk about our experience at the parks. So let's get to it.
Why don't we go ahead and start this off and talk about Disneyland and do a round table. And one by one, we're going to talk about the thing that we loved the most about Disneyland. Megan, are you ready to go?
I think some of the things I love the best, I'll start with my first one. My first one was the Pirates ride. I love the Pirates ride. It is just, you can't compare it. It's awesome.
Yes.
Agree.
Totally agreed. I love the ending of it.
Absolutely.
So much more.
Beginning too, like the little crickets and the little banjo. It's great.
Yeah.
Completely different vibe.
The really cool part is, we didn't do it during this trip, but I've done it before, is to eat at, I think it's the Blue Bayou restaurant, and you get a table that's overlooking the Pirates ride. You can see some of the boats going through, so it's pretty darn cool.
All right, Rob, what's on your list then? Number 1.
I was most looking forward to seeing Cars Land, because I didn't get to see it the last time I was there, and really California Adventure in general, because it was behind walls basically the last time I saw it. So this is the first time I really got to see that park. It did not disappoint. Cars Land was just awesome. Just every inch of that. Watch the movie and then go into that land. It's the same exact replica. It's like they got like every detail right. Mm-hmm. It's crazy the amount of stuff that's in there. And the ride itself, I mean, it's test track, but it's better.
It's so much better than test track.
Yeah, I mean, it's that element of having a dark ride and then the racing at the end. It was fantastic. So I think that was what stood out for me, and I was most looking forward to. So
Yeah. That's one of my favorite lands. Probably my favorite land out of all the Disney, both Disney World and Disneyland. It was stunning. And running through there was just so cool. Mm-hmm. So cool. Loved it.
And it's cool, like when you first walk in, right when they first open, you girls wouldn't know this because you were still getting ready, but they had like all the cars out on the street, so you could kind of to greet you as you were coming in, which is pretty cool. So you could actually stop and get your pictures taken with them all. With no lines, because everybody's running to Radiator Springs. So I thought that was really cool too.
Another thing they do at night, I don't know if you guys saw it, I saw it when I was there with the family, is at a certain time every night, they do like a grand turning on of the lights.
Yeah.
They play like the music, and it's kind of like a big deal when all the lights kind of come on, which is kind of neat.
We weren't there at night, only when we were running through in the morning.
Oh.
But the other attractions that are in that area were hysterical. Oh my God! I mean, Luigi's in Mater's, they were like ridiculously fun, and they're the stupidest rides. But Jackie will attest, they were hysterical.
We went on that Luigi's ride, and I think I laughed more during that ride than we did.
It was a lot of fun. Having again, just being there, and even the theming of the restaurants and stuff, the whole Cozy Cone Motel layout, Flo's is gorgeous. I mean, the food was just okay, but the fact they use like real plates and just a huge home run in my ballpark.
Those bread cones were pretty fantastic. The chili, oh my gosh, it was so good. Next time I got to get the macaroni one.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry we missed that.
Definitely.
All right, who's next?
Jackie.
I'll say for me, I mean, obviously I love you guys, your choices. I love the vintage vibe of Disneyland. Like, I love when you go into Fantasyland and they're the original rides. And some people may be like, oh, they're silly. I love them. I love the little dark rides you go through, Pinocchio, Snow White, Toad. I mean, and there's so much in such a small area. And I like feels small town, vintagey, but yet still stands up today. So I like that whole little area. Oh, and the storybook boats was great. We had a great cast member on that.
Yep.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
He really was, and it was all adults on the boats, and he was like cool about it. He wasn't so robotic. He was talking to us like we're real people. So I really like that boat ride. I probably will never forget, and it was just something simple he did to make it to interact with us. Great.
My number one is similar, Jackie. I honestly never thought that I would like Disneyland as much as I did, because in Disney World you have the 4 parks, you have more to see and more to do. But there's like a very lovely intimacy when it comes to Disneyland, being able to walk back and forth between the parks, walking through downtown Disney, which I loved. It was very intimate, very cozy, very lovely. And even staying off property, that was the first time I've ever stayed off property for either Disneyland or Disney World. And it was a 10-minute walk, really nice with all the trees that were lit up and just very festive feeling. And even staying off property, you still had that vacation fun vibe. So yeah, I really liked it. I'm surprised. All right, Megan?
Okay, so I will say that I did like the breakfast. That was not sight. But that leads me into my next comment is I think some of the food choices, to be completely honest, were better at Disneyland than they are at Disney World. And what I mean by that is it's more of a real world philosophy versus, you only get some of that at Epcot when you go into Disney World. But I think there are a lot more choices. I think that's because there are many more individuals that are local to the area that come to Disneyland and are looking for those choices. So, one of the first days we ate on the pier, which was really awesome and gives you a lot more choices from I don't want to say healthy, but in some respects it was more healthy. And then the last night I was there, I ate at, oh my goodness, I can't remember the exact name, but it was in around Cars Land, but it's like a tapas place that you could get.
Yeah, what was that?
It was, Laura, hamburger, but for most of them, for the rest
I
of them,
smuggled in a hamburger and fries.
It was a really nice change that you could just walk up and get those. And I think that's one of the big differences between Disney World and Disneyland is a lot of times they don't accept reservations until like 60 days in advance. And you can a lot of times, depending on when you're going, get reservations that day, which is pretty darn awesome.
Mm-hmm. There's not that pressure of planning there.
Exactly.
No, not at all.
I still like Magic Bands better.
Nope.
I
like
have
too.
to say, I like Magic Bands better.
I did too. I did not like having to keep pulling my tickets out and a fear of losing them, and yeah.
Okay, so Rob, what's next on your list?
I think we talk about attractions all day long, which ones I like best, but I was really impressed with Downtown Disney. This is the first time I got to spend some time in Downtown Disney, and I was surprised by how much I really enjoyed it. I think it's kind of like a mini replica of the old Downtown Disney in Florida, but I again, the size works. You can hit a lot of great choices. We didn't have to worry about dining reservations. We were able to get tables pretty easily all weekend for food, and the food was really good. We ate at that Italian place, I'm blanking on the name, which is owned by the same company that does Via Napoli, I think, right?
Yes, Mr.
Which was really good.
The pizza was great.
So I was really impressed with that. The shopping, a lot of good options. There's 2 Starbucks there. I mean,
and everything's close.
I like the look. Yeah.
It's like the newer Downtown Disney.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
if you want
it's
somewhere you can be. It could be a good trek to get to the restaurant on the other side. Everything's really close. So convenient.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. A lot of restaurants too. It wasn't so much shopping. I felt like it was a little more restaurants. I don't know if you guys felt that way, but.
Yeah, I mean I was really taken. I did not realize how much was actually there, because I thought it was like really tiny and there was not much there, and you actually get there and you're like, wow, there's a lot of choices here. So I mean, your standard choices, like they have a Rainforest Cafe, the ESPN Zone, which are fine, but some unique options too, which are really good. Wish we had more time there.
All right, Jackie, what is next on your list?
All right, who's next?
Another thing I noticed that I really liked and I was there a little longer than you guys. I ended up being there, I think, 10 or 11 days, was interaction with cast members there. It just feels different to me. And it's not against the ones in Disney, but the ones in Disney World are very polished. And I always feel like they're saying the right, correct things. Like they're very trained on what to say, what not to say. And spending so much time there, especially when it's a slower time, it's not like lunch hour. I'm chatty, and I end up talking to the cast members, and I think 95% of them all are from California. If you look at their their name tags. And they love they were so excited when they heard we were from the East Coast and we were visiting there, and they just like to talk to you. So I really enjoyed the cast members. They were fun on every occasion. Like Laura, we were running, they interact with you. It was really great. So that stood out to me. That was something I definitely noticed the whole trip.
I'm interested that you have that point of view, because I have the completely opposite perspective on that. I felt like it was their job, and that was their approach. Whereas when you get in Florida, it's a lot of college programmers. It's a lot of people who want to do that job and travel to do that job. I got the feel, looking around, I saw a lot of rolling eyes and just like aggravated faces, and like you get at work. We all work all day. You kind of get that daily grind of I'm just doing this for a paycheck, and that I got that vibe more, and that really stood out to me. Not that there weren't good experiences or there were cast members trying to, make things magical and stuff. But the other piece of that, too, is you see them kind of just walking around, walking into work, leaving. It's kind of weird. Like we're in Disney World, you don't really see them walking around.
Yeah.
You don't get that. And you understand why they want when Walt decided to build in Florida, he didn't want to have that, because it does take away from things. When you see cast members where they're not supposed to be, it does kind of take away a little bit.
Where our hotel was initially, we were on a different side of the park, and you walk out at the end of the day and then there's the homeless people on the street. It does kind of take away from some of the music. But then you're standing there with like the guy from Radiator Springs with his backpack and his earbuds in, just to kind of ignore you. So I understand where you're coming from with that. Maybe it was just initial like conversations I had with just specific people that I really enjoyed. So maybe it was just more of an experience I had, maybe not. But I do get what you're saying in general. They like you said, they want to get home, and you could see it a little more. Mm-hmm. We're in Disney World. They're not going home. They're going to their dorm, or wherever they're staying.
Right.
Oh, the next thing on my list is definitely the characters. So many awesome characters, and most of them were out where you could see them. Where, as compared in Disney World, a lot of the heavy hitters like Mickey, you cannot see them from the parks. You turn a street corner and there's Minnie Mouse, getting pictures with little kids. It makes it so magical to see the characters out. I really loved it, and I kind of wish we would have gotten some more. It's like, oh my goodness, but then you want to ride the rides too, and you want to do this and you want to do that. It's just so much to do. So yeah,
it made it fun. It was like a scavenger hunt, because they have like random ones that just come out. They don't really do that as much in Disney World.
Yeah.
That's great.
The cast members weren't even sure like who was coming out.
Yeah, they just don't know. It's like
we were asking cast members, is Cruella going to be here? And they're like, I don't know. Oh.
She might be. And then they wander, so they don't even know where.
And I like the characters that you can't get in Florida.
Yeah.
That was funny, the day that we kind of like were waiting for Cruella to come out, and then we're stalking her, we're following her to the spot, and
see someone she
like her groupies.
That was really cool.
We got some good ones. I got Perla, the mouse from Cinderella. And then we were standing there, and Peter Pan was there, and then us and I see out of the corner, this was before you guys got there, I see Captain Hook coming, and they had a little duel out there. Like, it was so impromptu, and like, it happened to be my son happened to be in the right place, and he got a picture with both of them. It was really cool. I'm like,
nice.
You would never see that. It would be like a queue, and you'd have to stand in line, and in Disney World. So that kind of stuff was really, really, to me, the highlight.
Mm-hmm.
And Gaston was kind of just walking around, and he was like putting on a show, and that was really funny.
He had a muscle match contest there with Robert. It was great. You'll have to show a picture there.
I'm going to insert that video right here. It's going right here. It's going to be epic. That was hilarious. All right, so we're on to round 3. Megan, go.
Small World. I'll be quick. The ride, Small World, I hadn't gone on it the last 2 times I was out there because nobody wanted to go on it. But it was, oh my gosh, so much better than Disney World. I am going to go on that. It was exponentially better. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you more. You need to see it yourself.
I agree because I did not like to ride the one at Disney World, but the one at Disneyland, I loved. Total agree. Good one. All right, Rob, go ahead.
I like that they still have the Animation Academy. I just love it. They don't have it in Florida anymore, and it's just a great way to spend 15 minutes, and you get a nice keepsake. We did it a couple times, and it was a lot of fun. The cast members were great, and it got packed like over the weekend. Like I couldn't get over how many people were waiting to get into it at one point. And that whole area where you go inside and they're playing cartoons and you have Turtle Talk there and you have Anna and Elsa the meet and greet. So that whole area is really cool. It's a nice way to duck in, escape from the heat, and just have a good time.
We kind of lucked out and we went in there and there was like no line for Anna and Elsa.
Like, no,
we're like, are they here?
We walked in, we're like, oh, hey.
I thought it was closed. Like, no, they're there.
Yeah, that area was really cool. Okay, Jackie, you're up.
All right, I loved Hyperspace Mountain. I love Space Mountain in Walt Disney World. I was like, why do they got to change it? But when I went on it, I was like, this is great. I mean, I don't know how long it took them to switch it up, but it was great. And there was details throughout the line, throughout the queue. Considering it's a temporary change, I was really impressed. They really went for it. The music blaring as you're riding the ride. It was really exciting. I loved it.
That was cool. That was very cool. And I'm going to have to bring up Tower of Terror. Rob and I have a little bit of a disagreement, but I love the ride. I love the theme. I love everything about it. And I got to ride it, 2 or 3 times we got on it. So I got my Tower of Terror in before they go ahead and bring in Guardian of Galaxy, which is going to happen when, Rob? Do you know?
They took the signs down today off of the building. Aww. It's not supposed to close till January, but they're already dismantling it. So it's kind of weird because they've got this whole celebration around it for the next few months. They're selling merchandise. They're doing a special, like, you can ride it at night. They turn all the lights off. So it's a little weird that they're already kind of taking stuff down. But, yeah, it's going away.
That guy, I don't know if we discussed it in our half, but the guy who was dressed as the laid-off Tower employee, awesome content. I'll have to insert a video of him. He was hilarious.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, best costume. All right. Oh, well, I think we have time for one more quick round. Go ahead, Megan. We'll start with you.
This has been my 3rd time to California Adventure Park, so this is the first time that I've been on California. And so I was able to ride it twice, which was pretty amazing. I am pretty pleased that I was able to do it, and that's my big takeaway from that I did, my new thing that I did in California. Nice.
Go ahead, Rob.
Being able to see Paint the Night, it was fantastic. I think what did you call it, Jackie? The electrical parade on steroids.
Yeah, basically.
It really is. It has the similar music, but the floats on this show are just spectacular. A little sad that it's going away. It's a little uncertain as to what's going to happen to it in the future. It might be going to Disney World. It might not be. I hear it's somewhat coming back to Disneyland, so it's a lot of confusion, I think, right now going on with what's going to happen with it. But glad that we got to see it either way. And we only had to camp out, 3 hours for it?
Yeah, I think so. Which I didn't mind considering my legs were killing me after.
That was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had fun. We met some nice people around us too, so it was cool. Sometimes those things end up.
Pissed off a lot of people in the process.
I got to see Robert's assertive side. He's usually very passive. I was very proud. He's like, "You're not sitting." I'm sorry, but when you camp out 3 hours for a parade, it's hard to let someone squeeze in 5 minutes.
You show up 2 seconds before it's supposed to go by. Yeah, no.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny. I was like, I thought he was going to make me do it, and he did it. It was funny. Then I'll roll that in right after that ended. I grabbed your backpack and said, "Come on."
Yeah. I'm like, where are we going? Are we joining the parade?
Yeah, I know. We were literally following the ladies with the rope, and we were sitting between Matterhorn and the castle, and I just grabbed it, and I'm like, "Let's go." And we had a great view. for the parade. And the thing in Disneyland is they cancel the fireworks a lot because of the wind. So the whole time we're standing there going, please let there be fireworks. Please let there be fireworks. You just don't know until they make the announcement. And, of course, then it started. And those fireworks for the 60th anniversary, they're by far my favorite. And as much as Frozen's been overdone, when that song came on, I almost tear up every time and it starts snowing and you feel a cold breeze come down Main Street.
It got cold.
It really got cold. I mean, I was like, this is the coolest effect ever. It was really good.
Just everything about it. The way they integrate the projections and the music, and it was a party. Like, I love Wishes. I'm a sucker for Wishes in Florida, but it's very revered. It's like, it's not like a party. The people were singing along. It was like they were dancing around. They were cheering when like the different scenes would come on. I know Lion King came on and the place went nuts. It was like, oh my God. So it was really cool.
And like, in Disney World, Tinkerbell goes down the zip line and it's exciting. Well, here she goes and she's flying and then Nemo comes. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. It was great.
Fireworks are going off above her.
Oh my gosh. Well, for my last one, I would name a very vain one, and that is I had great hair. Normally, if I'm in Florida, I'm like a total frizz bomb. There, I had great hair. Even when I got home, my husband's like, you have a glow about you, which I quickly answered with, so does that mean that I can go back next year and get that glow? So I did get it, but I'm not going to mention that one. I will say, though, that the thing I love the best is I've been to Disney World so many times. I love it. But there's a familiarity there. When I go, I don't plan. I was excited for Disneyland. I was excited about seeing new things and experiencing new experiences and eating all these wonderful snacks that we will have a video very shortly up about. That was a lot of fun. So it was the whole newness for me that I really loved, and I can't wait to go back. So, well, I think that wraps it up unless anyone else has something that they'd like to add.
I'm a sucker for history, and it's Walt's Park. And that stood out the entire time I was there. It's the park he was in. He had his fingerprint on, and it still does to this day. You still get that sense that people out there still hold him in high regard, where Florida's kind of gotten away from it. You don't really get the sense out there anymore that they really care about Walt anymore. But that was front and center the whole weekend. So
that's going to wrap us up for this week. If you have not seen our previous, oh my gosh, how many have we done now? I think this is like our 6th video about Disneyland. This is it. We're going to have a fresh topic next time, we promise. But if you've missed them, please subscribe and go back and look at the playlist. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you were at the Disneyland half or if you've been to Disneyland, please leave below in the comments your thoughts. What is your favorite part about Disneyland or how it compares to Disney World? So until then, have a joyful day, and thanks for watching.
Bye.
We're Joyful Miles, where our goal is to enjoy life 1 mile at a time.
Did you hear the dogs?